Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, what up? I'm Tony Tone, and I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Let's ride.
What's up, everybody? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah, I know it's been a minute, and I gotta do better at putting out more and more videos. I'm gonna do that. But you know, I had a very, very eventful summer, and now I'm ready to get back to the business. But before I do that, I have to say, if you looked at the title and you thought there was going to be some kind of big squabble or big beef, number one, I'm not even big enough, as you can tell from my subscribers. I'm not big enough to have a beef with anybody if I was inclined to do so, but I'm not. I just simply have a disagreement with Marques on one particular point that he made. Other than that, this is not a petty fight or anything like that. There's no need for that. I have a whole lot of respect for the man, and I hope he continues to make videos. I totally subscribe to what he's doing, and I'm a big fan of his. I just simply, like I said, I just simply have a disagreement with one point that he said about the new Galaxy Fold 3. It's in my hands. And let me just say this, by the way, number two, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. But we'll talk about that in another video. What is my disagreement? Marques, although he likes the Fold 3, and he probably likes it as much as I do, he doesn't think that it's quite ready to replace the Galaxy Note. I totally disagree with that notion. The Galaxy Note, I've had the Galaxy Note since the Note 3. And every iteration that came out after the Note 3, I've had it, and I've gotten in sequential order. But now that this Fold 3 is in my hands, and I've been using it for more than a week now, there's no going back. No more Note for me. And I think that Samsung is not gonna, I could be wrong, of course, but I don't think that Samsung is going to come back with a Note. Why? Number one, if you think about the history of the Note and even the S, the Galaxy S series and the Galaxy Note series, they were very distinguishable. The S was and still is Samsung's flagship phone. And so is the Note. But what distinguished the Note? If you remember, phones at the time that the Note came out were on the trajectory of being smaller, if you can believe that. Some of you younger people won't even understand that, but phones were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And sometimes even ridiculously so. I remember I had a Sony phone that looked like a chewing gum, the size of chewing gum. I mean, of course I'm exaggerating, but it was really small. And the Note was huge, but it was huge intentionally so because of the S Pen. It was meant to be a notepad. So therefore it had to be bigger, it had to write. And if you wanted all the bells and whistles of the S series, but you also wanted a productivity tool in terms of the Note, it had to be big. And if some of you understand that back in the days, Apple, which is Samsung's biggest competitor, and vice versa, they used to basically laugh at Samsung, the Note. And not only Apple, but a lot of people were laughing at the Note for being so big, so huge, it'll never catch on. Then Apple phones started to get bigger and bigger, and the rest started to follow the trend. After a while, the S series and the Note series became less and less and less distinguishable, to the point where now you can get a Galaxy S21 with the S Pen compatibility. So there is no distinction between the Note and the S Pen, save the fact that the S Pen in the Galaxy S cannot be stored in its phone, in the device itself. That's the only difference, basically, from the Note and the S. Well, Samsung says, you know what? My Note people, you are getting your Note because you want to be productive. Therefore, we're going to give you the ultimate productivity tool, and that's going to be further distinct from the S series in the form of the Galaxy Fold. And we've done that. And that's why I believe that the Fold series is the Galaxy Note replacement forever and for good. But let's get back to my disagreement with Marques. He said a lot in this video, Let's Talk Ambition. And one of the things he said was the Flip 3, which came out at the same time as the Fold 3, is less ambitious, but a better phone. Totally disagree. For most people, a better phone for most people, a better choice for most people. To me and many others, the Flip simply folds. And if you want a phone for the novelty of folding, even though it's not a novelty, but if that's all you want it for, then it becomes a novelty. That's the only thing that it does different from any other flagship phone. All it does is fold, which means that you can put it in your pocket. I mean, okay, that's nice. I like it. But does that mean it's better for most people because you can put it in your pocket? I think what Marques is doing, he's thinking too much about the fact that it folds and not really looking at the benefits of the Fold and what it was designed to do. It's actual ambition. Ambition is everything. So Marques, in this video, he asked the question, so it's time to kill the Note, right? Then he says, well, there's a giant asterisk next to that. Well, and what's the giant asterisk? Because the fact that the S Pen cannot be housed in the unit itself, that is his main reason for the Fold not being a replacement. And yes, he's right. It doesn't house, and it's a pain. It's a pain in the neck. And yes, it makes it a little bit cumbersome. Certainly more cumbersome than the Note. But really, Marques? I mean, really? Is that the reason why it's not a Note replacement? You even said yourself, this phone has all the benefits of the Note. Well, if it has all the benefits of the Note, and the only thing that it doesn't have is the ability to put it in the unit itself, then the question becomes, does it offer anything more or better than the Note offers? And it certainly does. For example, you take that pen, that S Pen, and you start writing notes on this big display. There is a benefit to that the Note has, but it doesn't have it to that extent. It is an extreme pleasure to write on this pad. If you look at the calendar app and you see how the calendar app is orchestrated on one side versus the left panel versus the right panel, you'll see that this has a way better benefits than the Note in terms of its user experience. If you look at one of my favorite productivity tools, which is having up to 3 windows operating at the same time, the Note can do that, just not nearly as well as this, and every screen is at a decent size that you can see what you're doing. A calculator here, perhaps, a calendar on top, perhaps, and then on the left side, some video that you're watching, or whatever that tool is that you're looking at. This is a machine. It's more than a phone in your pocket. It's a tablet in your pocket, which I will talk about later at another day. So yeah, not having the pen being able to be housed in the phone itself is an inconvenience, but it's certainly no reason to say that this phone is not up to par with the Note. To me, that's just crazy. This phone, the Z Fold 3, having all the capabilities of the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, which is what I had, and then some, makes this phone, the Z Fold 3, well worth having. And yeah, I don't think the Note is coming back, but me being a long-time Note user, I'm not missing it, because now I'm a Z Fold 3 fan. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm Tony Tone. I'm signing out. And remember, you can't be better by being the same. Peace!